Okay, you ready?
Ready? One, two, three, go. I'm ready.
Okay. So, today's gonna be a hot topic. We're gonna be talking about the trucking industry.
Yes, ma'am.
And, from your experience, we're going to be talking about the specific company that you work for and how they are actually scamming people. And you talk to their drivers and stuff like that, and everyone lasted about, oh, hold on, let me see something. Okay, so everyone lasted about 3 loads. No one can ever last more than a month with this company because the way they're stealing people's money, the way they scamming the drivers and stuff like that. So can you like go ahead and talk about your experience and how that went for you?
Well, the trucking industry as a whole is extremely scamish, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of companies out there that are scamming drivers. They make it so hard for the driver on
Mm-hmm.
every aspect, not just the company. I mean, DOT. It really seems like the government really don't care about the trucking industry, specifically the drivers,
Right.
right? I've worked for a lot of different companies since I've been trucking for about 4 years now. There has been issues with every single one of the companies that I work with, but I've the worst experience I've had with a company was just recently.
Mm-hmm.
I've only worked for this company for about a week and a half. Hasn't even been 2 weeks since I started working with this company. But you know how they do. Once you first getting started, they act like they care about you. They're making sure that everything is correct, everything is taken care of. Especially these companies that are out there in Chicago, right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them are scamming drivers.
Mm-hmm.
So I got with this company. They flew me in from Texas to Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I they said they would pay for everything, right? They bought a plane ticket, but I had to pay for my own bag. Okay, when I got to the airport, I realized that I was like, okay, cool, I paid for the bag. So I got there. When I got there, I look at the office. I'm like, okay, well, and you know what? It is said to actually always do your research on a company. But when it comes to trucking, almost every single company have these bad, unsettling reviews,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I got there and I seen these dudes and they're sitting there. I don't know what they were. They might have been Russians or something. I don't know, right? But they definitely weren't Americans. So we did the paperwork and everything. So they had a guy in there, right? While I was doing the paperwork, I got up and left and went to the office to talk to the guys. When I got back to the waiting room, there was another driver sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't have my truck ready. That's number one. When I got there, they didn't have my truck ready. So I'm like, it's like, why would you hire a driver, right?
Mm-hmm.
You flew me in from another state, but the truck is not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the truck had mechanical issues, things that they claimed that they had to work on. So I got there on Monday and did all the paperwork and stuff like that. And as I'm filling out the paperwork, noticed that there was a lot of fees. I'm talking about they charge you for every single thing. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, no problem. As long as you focus on being safe and making sure you drop the loads on time, pick up the loads on time. I mean, you shouldn't, get in a situation where you have to pay the company for, you know, for not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, no problem about the fees. So, but when I got to the waiting room, like I said, I saw this driver. He was just sitting there, and he leaned over and said, "Hey, you make a lot of money with this company." I said, "For real?" I said, "How long you been working with them?" He said, "I've been working with them for about 5 months now, but my check have been nothing less than $3,000." And he
Mm-hmm.
showed me his statement. So I'm like, okay. So then I asked him, I said, "Are you a company driver?" He says, "I'm a lease driver." I said, "Okay." So I said, "What would you recommend? Because I'm coming in as a company driver, but it seems like there's quite a bit of money to be made as a lease driver." He's like, "Yeah, I'm making good money. I don't make any less than $2,000."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "As long as you take care of the truck, you do your pre-trip, this and that,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna have any problems." So I thought about it. I was like, "Okay, you know what? Let me try it out." And I noticed it wasn't a contract where you had to be stuck with the contract. You could actually leave it alone whenever you feel like it. You could end the contract whenever you feel like it. So I went on and I did the lease. That Monday, like I said, the truck wasn't ready, so they got me in a hotel for the night. And the next morning, Tuesday, they sent me a Uber. I went back to the office and to finalize everything to get the truck. When I got there on Tuesday, the truck was still not ready.
Hmm.
So the guy who seems to be maybe the owner or the guy who's in charge of everything took me outside and showed me a truck. When I look at the truck, I was like, I don't know. He says, yo, this is a good truck. I did a lot of work in this truck, changed the motor, changed the transmission, this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, cool, and he's like, look, there's no problem with the truck. Uh, Believe me, if you have any problem with the truck, if a month down the line you want to change the truck, just let me know, call me. I'll go ahead and change the truck for you. He's like, well, this truck is paid for, so the payment is not going to be that much versus another truck that you might have to pay $1,000-something for it because it's not paid off yet. I say, okay, since you tell me this truck is all set, ready to go, and it's in good condition, it's not going to give me no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I'll take your word for it. So we did everything, finalized, got the truck on Tuesday, and I had to go pick up a trailer. I went to pick up the trailer, and I stayed the night. The next day, Wednesday, I had to go pick up my first load, which was
Mm-hmm.
2 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm driving the truck,
The first day.
literally on my first pickup, as I'm driving the truck, I noticed some smoke is coming from the hood, and the truck had like 4 or 5 lights on the dashboard,
Mm-hmm.
which we know every light that's on the dashboard that's lit up is a violation. So at that point, I'm already skeptical. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, that's not. I got smoke coming out from the hood. I stopped and checked. I don't see where the smoke was coming from. And as I'm driving, I'm looking back under the trailer. There's smoke coming out of it. So I immediately called one of the guys in management.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't pick up. He texted me back and said, hey, I'm gonna call you back. So I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and keep on driving. It's not giving me problem where he can't drive. It's just, the smokes are coming out on top of the fact that this light lit up on the
But they had
dashboard.
it at a mechanic.
They had it in mechanic. The truck was just sitting there. They never fixed the truck for real.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I got the truck, just to kind of go backwards a little bit, the AC wasn't working in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make them fix the AC right then and there. So that was one. And there was a mirror that wasn't even working. So I had to make them fix that right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward, so I'm like, okay. So I called him. He said he's gonna call me back so I can discuss the issue with the truck. Hey, it's showing some signs that it's gonna give problem. It's already showing smoke coming from the hood, smoke coming from the trailer. I don't know where the smoke is coming from or what's causing it. So I was gonna tell him, just give him a heads up that hey, I might have to get another truck.
Mm-hmm.
He said he would call me back. Never called me back. The guy never called me. He never called me back. The next day, never called me back. I sent him a text message, right? Named Damien. Okay, his name is Damien. He works in the office. I don't know what he does, but he's one in management.
Mm-hmm.
He never hit me back. So I'm like, okay, good. So by Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe early morning Thursday, like 3:00 in the morning, I'm driving through Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now I don't already picked up that load, so I was supposed to take that load down to Georgia. So I'm driving through Tennessee 3:00 in the morning, going up a hill. The truck stopped. The truck stopped.
And that's
Thank
the
goodness.
second day. On the
Yeah,
second day now.
that was the second day. The truck stopped.
Mm-hmm.
3:00 in the morning, right? And I had already told them, I was speaking to dispatcher, the maintenance. I'm letting them know, hey, this truck is, it's not right. This, and that. So 3:00 in the morning, the truck stops going up a hill in Tennessee. But thank goodness I was on a place where I could pull up to the side easy, right? For anybody that's a truck driver, once the truck stops, the steering wheel become extremely hard. You can't do nothing with this truck. But so thankfully I wasn't going fast because I was going up a hill. So it was easy for me to pull onto the side. So I pulled onto the side, called maintenance, let them know, hey, the truck stopped, this, and that. They're like, what's going on with it? I'm like, I don't know. It's not starting, nothing. So 3:00 in the morning, by 4:00 in the morning, they sent a tow truck. We towed the truck to a garage.
Right.
So from early in the morning, I think Thursday, early in the morning Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
I was at the shop. They got me a hotel room
Mm-hmm.
at 5:00 in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even want to let me check in because, check-in is at 3:00 in the afternoon for most hotels. So the lady let me check in. So I stayed all the way from Thursday to Friday morning. Friday morning, they fixed the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the truck. I'm driving. By what it was, either Friday afternoon or Saturday morning, somewhere around there,
Mm-hmm.
the truck got another problem.
That's the
Okay?
third day.
So yeah, so
Mhm.
while I was picking up, after I dropped off a load, I noticed, no, I was on my way. I was getting ready to go pick up a load. I think it was Saturday. The truck wouldn't build no pressure. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I checked everything. I couldn't tell why the truck wouldn't build no pressure. So I called maintenance again. Hey, I don't know what's wrong, but now the truck is not building pressure. checked everything, checked my airlines and everything. Nothing is leaking. I can hear no air leaking from anywhere. So I'm not sure what's going on. So I keep messing with it. After an hour and a half, some way, somehow, it started building pressure. But I told maintenance, I said, hey, I don't know why it wasn't building pressure, but I got it to work. So they're like, go ahead and go pick up that load. Keep watching it. Let us know if anything changed. I said, okay, no problem. Pick up the load, and I went over and dropped the load. And I was still in Georgia at the time. After I dropped the load, while I'm still in the dock, after everything is cleared, I dropped the load. I'm supposed to leave. Now the truck is not building any pressure.
So you still haven't heard from management, the guy that told you can call.
Management don't never hit me up. I actually sent email to the guy who was in charge, the guy who actually told me this truck was okay. I sent him an email letting them know what's going on, what's been going on, this and that. He never responded, right? So now I'm at this dock. I just dropped off this load. I'm supposed to leave. Now I'm stuck there for 2 hours trying to see if I could get this truck to build pressure. The same problem again. It's not building pressure. After a period of time, I called maintenance right away. Of course, they're on the phone with me. They're saying, check this, check that. I said, I check everything already, but just so you know, since you're on the phone, I'm doing it right now, right? Even though I did it already. So I check everything, nothing. Eventually, what they did, they sent another tow truck.
Wow.
Now they came in while I'm at the receiver. They sent a tow truck to pick me up at the dock. Send a tow truck. Now I was like, I forgot what day that was. That was either during the weekend or whichever, right? On that same week. Yeah, on that same week. So now they took me to another shop, stayed there, spend the night at a hotel again. All this time, I'm sending email, I'm sending text message. Management never respond. At that point, I'm getting a little bit frustrated. I'm telling dispatcher, like, look, you guys got to put me in touch with management. You guys got to tell management what's going on. I'm telling maintenance the same thing. Okay, sir, don't worry. We'll let management know. We'll actually have them call you. They never call.
So that's poor communication.
So by that time, I had already sent the management 3 emails. I've called them several times. I've sent text messages. Along the time, I'm telling dispatcher and maintenance and accounting what's going on with the truck, what I'm dealing with out on the road. They never really respond back to me. Okay? Whenever I'm complaining, even dispatcher or maintenance act like they don't even see what I'm talking about. They never respond either, right? Unless it's about a load or this and that. So now I spent another day at a hotel with the truck in the shop. I got the truck back. So now I'm driving. So now there was already a leak. Okay, there was an oil leak and there was a Freon. Not Freon, but antifreeze leak in the truck. So every 2 days I would have to put antifreeze out of my own pocket in the truck. And I'm letting them know, hey, there's some leaks in the truck, this and that. Never said anything about it. So now after I pick up the truck from the shop a second time, now I'm driving. Okay, I had a load to pick up from Georgia. I'm picking up the load from Georgia, going to South Carolina. Right? On my way to South Carolina, okay, at around 7 p.m. or so. Okay, that day, which was on Thursday, so now we on the next week, which was on Thursday. On my way, on that day, I usually put a gallon of antifreeze a day, but on that day, I put like 3 gallons.
And so now I'm like, still within your first week?
Yeah, first few days with the company. Okay. So now I'm like, okay, well, now I done put like 5 gallons of antifreeze since I started in this truck. And on that specific day, Thursday, I put 3 in total. So I call them, I'm like, look, I'm not driving this truck throughout the night. This truck has a lot of issues. I don't feel comfortable driving overnight to go drop this load because it's leaking antifreeze really bad. I usually put 1 gallon. Today I put 3. So I'm like, I'm not going to be driving. I say, if you guys want me, because they told me after I dropped the load in South Carolina to bring the truck over to their shop in Chicago. I said, no problem. But then the leak got so bad, so I'm like, I'm not driving this truck. So now they had to take it to another shop. All right? So that was Thursday. So that was Thursday night. They're like, well, so when I got to the shop, they're like, well, we won't be able to look at it until Friday morning. Or maybe it was Wednesday night until Thursday morning. So it was Wednesday night. They said they won't be able to look at the truck until Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, I woke up and brought the truck over to them at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was 11 o'clock in the morning, probably even noon. I still haven't heard anything. So I went back to the shop. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I haven't heard anything. And I noticed the hood is open, but nobody's working on the truck. They're like, well, then your company told you. I said, what is it? They're like, well, we told them that the truck, we won't be able to do nothing in the truck until Friday morning. Mind you, I got there Wednesday night. So I spent the whole day Thursday with no work, okay, at a truck stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday morning, now I went back. They finally started working on the truck. Okay, I didn't get that truck till like maybe 1 p.m. on Friday.
Hmm.
Okay, so that was 3 times the truck broke down.
What
A
did
truck
you
that a truck that I just got from them.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that want to know, the company is called Denver Cargo, and they go by DDA Leader Freight.
Need a
Leader Freight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
scam. Stay away from them.
systems.
So throughout that whole time, after I got that truck on Friday, now I'm like, okay. So I told dispatcher, no. So I'm like, they didn't hit me up when the truck was ready. They didn't call me to let me know, hey, they said the truck is ready. I had to keep going back and forth to keep asking. Although the shop called them, told them the truck was ready to make payments. After they make payments, they would usually call me and say, hey, the truck is ready. Go get it. They didn't call me. Dispatcher didn't even call me that morning, which they always call me or text me every morning.
So
So at that point, I know
everybody ghosted you the whole
everybody.
entire day.
Yeah,
No, they ghosted you for 2 days actually, with a load.
pretty much. I had a load with me. So now, after I pick up the truck, so I done drove like 2-3 hours already. Finally, I got a text from dispatcher. I got a call from dispatcher saying that, hey, what's your ETA? You know, when do you think you're gonna get to Chicago? I said, well, I should get to Chicago tonight. Okay, which it was said that, you know, based on my GPS, I would have been able to make it to Chicago Friday night around 10 or 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them, I said, hey, I'm gonna make it over there at 10 or 11 p.m. So schedule it for me to drop it off on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, whatever time is fine, because I'll already be in Chicago that night. So Saturday morning, it would have been fine for me to drop off the load.
You
They're
still
like, okay, I'm
haven't
gonna call you.
heard from management for
No, no,
a week and a
no,
half now.
I haven't heard since I started. The moment I got the truck, management never hit me up, and I've been trying to contact them via email, text message, phone call, no response. And I'm talking about not just one person, several people. And like I said, I complained to dispatcher maintenance about the issue to see if they would tell management, which they said they would.
Mm-hmm.
That management would call me, never did throughout the whole time. So now, like I said, on my way to Chicago, after I got the truck from the shop, 2-3 hours down the road, dispatcher called me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's your ETA? I said, I'm gonna make it out there Friday night. I can deliver Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. Let me go ahead and set that up. They called me back. They're like, hey, we're not. They said they're not gonna be able to take it Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be able to take. They're gonna be able to take it on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So mind you, I had one load for the week. I've already missed a lot of days that I was not able to work due to truck breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When I got my check that Friday, it was $130. So I was already pissed off about that. They got their fees and everything. Even though the truck was not working, even though it had nothing to do with me not doing the job. I did my job, but their truck was not
working. Now
was not working.
I went
So
some reviews and I noticed that the other drivers, that's exactly what happens to them as well. They'll give you a bad trucks just so they don't pay you.
it's a scam.
It's
So
a
now,
thing. Yeah.
so now, dispatcher called me and said, hey, they're not going to be able to take the load Saturday morning. You'd have to wait till Monday. I said, what? I said, nah, at that point, I got pissed off because throughout the whole time, even though I was going through a lot of headache, I was calm. I was like, yo, you know what? Let's go ahead and take care of this, whatever, right? So I was calm, even though I was messaging everybody, sending emails, this and that. Everything was professional. Everything was more so about, hey, this what's going on. I need to talk to management so we could renegotiate this so I could get another truck because I'm not able to work with this truck. I'm not making money with this truck. I'm spending a lot of times, a lot of days without working because the truck is in the shop. So this pretty much what my email was consist of and my text message, right? So they ignore everything, right? So when dispatcher told me they can't take the load on Saturday, I'll have to wait till Monday. I'm like, man, I'm pissed off at this point because the week ends on Monday. So now I have one load for the week and I can only drop off on Monday, which means now I'm gonna miss Saturday. I'm missing Sunday without working. So at this point, I said, nah, man, I'm done. I'm quitting the company. I'm not even gonna drop this load. I'm gonna drop this load to your yard, and you guys would have to deal with the delivery. I said, I'm not delivering this load. I'm not waiting till Monday because I had other things. I had other things I was already working on.
You're not getting paid anyway.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they
not
pay you
getting paid.
$130 for a whole
Yeah,
week and a half of work. So they took all the
yeah.
money. Now they have a lot of lawsuits too. I did some deep background check. They have a lot of lawsuits because that's what they do to drivers. And then they hire driver almost every day because every driver quit within the first 2 weeks, just like you did, right? Because
Yep.
it's unbearable. You are not going to last. So that's what people don't understand. Do your research before you work for any company. Like, I cannot wait for the day that no man or nobody has to work for a trucking company. Like, I cannot wait. It's a good industry, but it's too many scams going on right now, especially in
It used to
Chicago.
be it used to be good back in the days, right? Guys used to make money. It wasn't, I mean, financially, trucking used to be great. These days, it's not. The amount of driving you have to do to make the money is insane, right?
Mhm.
With all these regulations, you can't drive past a certain time. You can't do this, you can't do that. And when DOT stops you, they're looking at things and this and that. I mean, the amount of regulation and the craziness that's going on in the trucking industry with some of these companies is insane. Some of the things that these drivers go through on the road
Mhm.
is insane. Like I said, so after I got to Chicago, okay, I made it to Chicago Saturday morning.
Mhm.
I went in the yard and I dropped the truck, took pictures, took videos of everything,
You keep a
documented
lot of things
everything.
for record. Yeah.
Yeah, documented everything for my record because I was, my goal is to sue them. So they're gonna have another lawsuit on top of all these lawsuits they already have. So,
Oh, and
so
that's the
now,
thing. If you tell them you're quitting with a load, they're going to cut your guy's car. They almost did that to you, remember?
yeah, they did because I went and get some fuel. Okay, uh, Friday when while I was driving over to Chicago, I went over to get some fuel. That's after I told dispatcher I'm not staying with the company no more. I'm done. So I went and get some fuel. I noticed that when I put because you're supposed to put the fuel card and then your truck number and then it would text you a number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you could it could let you get fuel. I put my truck number. It didn't text me nothing. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
That's
This is
the
the
same
first time
thing
this
that happened
happened.
to a lot of other
That
drivers.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, don't tell me these guys cancel the cord. I'd quit. I would have left the truck right there.
Oh, yeah.
If they had
And
canceled that cord, I would have left. I
police
would have left
report.
that. Yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
have left the truck. I would have called the cops and make a police report, and I would have left the truck right there. But something tell me, okay, keep trying. So I tried again, and it worked. And it worked. And I know they cancel it and turn it back on. And it's because they know I have all this information. They know that I've been communicating constantly,
Because
right? And they have
you keep
not
making them
responded.
aware of what was going on. Because what
Exactly.
most drivers don't do, most drivers don't send in emails. They don't try to keep records of what's going on. So if you call them, if you go to court, you don't have anything to say, oh, hey, this is what I did. I was trying to communicate with you, but you never responded, stuff like that. But things that they don't know, you've worked in management, you know the laws, you did what you were supposed to do. You documented everything. You have videos, you have pictures, you have timestamp everything that they did from the day you got the truck until the day you return the truck to them. So you have everything documented. So they don't have nothing to say against you. You know what I mean? Most
Exactly.
truckers. Mhm.
I have tons of information. I have every single phone calls, every single text message, every single emails that I sent to these people. I've documented everything. When I dropped the truck,
Mhm.
I took videos. When I went inside to talk to them in the office,
Mhm.
I was recording them without them knowing. Okay.
Mhm.
So when they found out I was recording,
So you were recording
exactly.
in case you take them to court, so you can tell them, "Hey, I told you, I gave you the court, I gave you the load." So just in case if they say they never received the load, that's why you were recording to save your butt, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. In the video, you can see, although, when I was recording, it actually got muted by mistake, but you can see me talking to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the moment he asked me, the moment he noticed the phone in my hand
Mm-hmm.
and the way I was holding the phone, he asked me, "Are you recording?" I said, "Heck yeah, I'm recording for my record. For my, I want to make sure I keep a record that you guys are aware of what's going on because you guys have been ignoring the phone calls. I've been ignoring this text message. I've been ignoring all my email. So I'm letting you guys know what's going on right now." The moment he found out I was recording, he quickly got up off the chair, walked over to me and said, "This is private property. You got to go." So he closed the door. So I can see
They kicked me out. Okay, I just want to make sure I got all my record.
Turned around and left, and that's when I said, in the video, you hear me say, "Hey, you see how they kicked me out?" So they kicked me
Mhm.
out. When I got outside, he walked outside and told me to go across the street because this is private property, right? So this is the type of people that these guys are at Denver Cargo, okay, also known as Leader Freight System. They are a big scammy company, and I
Every
advise
trucker that
any
you talk
driver,
to, yeah.
right? I advise any driver, anybody, and I hope everybody that actually do their research come across this video right here, so their name would pop up to know not to work for this company. It doesn't matter because they gonna act like they're gonna hire you really fast. They're gonna pay you this. They're gonna do this. They're
Mhm.
gonna do that. It's all a lie. They are out there scamming drivers. They will not pay you, right? And they will not talk to you.
You talk to about like 5 6 drivers, and every drivers started within like 2 weeks and a month and stuff like that. They are struggling to make money because these guys charge you for everything, and then they're gonna have someone inside to bribe you into taking the deal. You want to go over the, how you pay
Yes,
you.
that
That's not
yeah, that
true.
drive
They work
when
together.
I was in the waiting room, that driver that told me, "Hey, you can make good money and this and that." I believe it was a driver or somebody that they put there to make sure that they sell you into getting into a lease.
Yep.
Okay, because when you in a lease, if I had this truck for about 2 weeks, everything that happened to the truck would have been on me.
And then you
The
would have owed
repairs would
them
have been on
money.
me, and I would have owed them money. So they would be making money because I would be liable to pay them every week for the truck, for the trailer, for
Hmm.
fuel and everything. And I would have probably end up owing them money because, hey, I give you the truck, you've been driving it for 2 weeks, nothing was wrong with it.
Hmm.
Now, hey, it's not on us. You got to pay for the repairs and this and that.
Hmm.
But because even though they didn't talk to me, if they pay for the repairs, right?
Hmm.
But they still charge me for the lease, for fuel, for all these
But
things,
then
while at the same time.
that's because within the first that's because that happened since the first day. The truck was not good from the first day, so they had
Exactly.
no choice
They
because they wanted to see if they could keep you enough to last maybe like another 2 weeks, just so everything could fall on you. That's what they do. That's what they do. Right? Because
exactly. Exactly.
every review says the same thing. Stay away, stay away, stay away from Denver Cargo. They are scamming you guys. Scam, scam, scam. Stay away from them.
And when this video is done, uh,
Please
I'm
share this
definitely gonna
video.
I'm definitely gonna take the link of this video and send to them. Let them know I'm not playing. They think I'm playing. I'm definitely gonna report these people. I'm definitely gonna file for a lawsuit against these people. Uh, Not only for the money that they owe me. I already know because I already sent them a final email letting them know this is the last email before I take them to court. I already let them know that.
The thing
I already
is,
sent
hmm
I already sent them an email to let them know this is not a game. I'm not playing. Matter of fact, today, okay, even though I already dropped the truck with the load to
hmm
them, even though I'm already working for a different company,
hmm
I've sent an email, okay, another email. I've sent a text message to that guy named Damien who
hmm
works in the office about this same guy that's been ignoring me. Okay,
hmm
one of the guys that's been ignoring me. I sent him a long text message about everything, okay, to see, okay, if he would respond.
he never
Even so,
responded.
and that was this morning. Now it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Once again, never responded.
Yeah, that's
I
what they
I
do.
find
They're
this
scamming.
I I find this to be very bizarre
Hmm.
because they should know not responding is even make things even worse for them. not responding to an email, not
No,
responding to a
because
text
they do
message.
it to every drivers. Like the comment, like when we did the research, every driver says the same thing. Whenever they give you the truck, you are not going to get a response. You didn't know. You didn't do enough research. That's what I want people to understand. Do your research before you get with any company.
Honestly, the best research you could do with a trucking company, because when you go look at reviews, you're
Mm-hmm,
gonna see bad reviews about every company, right?
mm-hmm,
Because these companies are really not good out there. The best way is to make sure that you know somebody that work in these companies, that you can get in contact. Especially if you're already in the trucking industry,
mm-hmm.
meet drivers, talk to drivers. If you see a company, ask drivers, hey,
How you being treated?
has this company making money? Are they this? Are they that? Because that's the best type of review that you
Mm-hmm,
could get, by from somebody that's actually working in the company currently.
mm-hmm.
They'll tell you, and you might have a better idea. But like I said, every single company in the industry has bad reviews, and majority of them, if not all of them, treat drivers like they don't matter.
Yeah, and a lot of the
Majority
good
of them,
reviews that this company has is from them. It's from people from the office.
yeah,
It's from them.
they write their own reviews, and in some cases they even delete some of the bad reviews. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have ways to do that. So
They
that's why
pay
I
to
say
delete.
don't always trust the reviews, because you don't know who's writing the reviews, why they writing the reviews. Especially if you see a company and it has good reviews and this and that, it could be their own people. It could be their own people. You have some companies out there that are even paying people to write good
Actually, some
reviews.
of the reviews you can tell it's from the company because this sounds like commercialized. Everybody that have a bad experience, you can tell how they talk, how they express themselves. They went through it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why you can make the difference between a commercialized review and somebody that actually work for the company. So yeah, people just need to
Yeah.
do your research, do your research, do your research. But no matter what you do not work for Denver Cargo in Chicago. What was the street address? Some of them say
Uh,
Davenport. Is the Davenport is a street in Chicago?
nah, give me a sec. Give me a second. I'm gonna give you the exact. I'm gonna give you guys the exact address.
It's
To
a lot of these people, they're not in the state, right? They are skimming from other places.
well,
They're skimming.
a lot of the dispatchers are not in the state, and sometimes the company owners are not even in the country,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the address to this place is 14002 Harrison Avenue, Polson, Illinois 60469.
Do
Okay.
not go to this
So
address for under any circumstances. You're going to get stuck on the streets, and then they're going to. If you say anything about the truck being bad, they're going to. You're not going to get paid, and then they're going to cut your gas card. They did that to a lot of different guys, right? And then the guy said that he was like a couple hours away when they did that to him. You know what he had to do? He had to use his credit cards. He didn't even have enough cash, enough money for gas. And they told him he had to bring the truck.
I would have called the cops, get a
Yep.
report,
Yep.
show the cops the evidence that I did my best. I tried to reach out. They cut the gas cord,
And you
and I
got
would
the
have left the
money.
truck right there. I would have left the truck right there and then turn around and sue them.
Yep.
That's what I would have did.
Most drivers
I would.
keep their mouth shut. That's why you guys cannot. And then I'm praying one day that all drivers stop working for
I,
2 weeks. I need all drivers to stop
we need
working.
to, we need a strike. We definitely need a strike in the trucking industry to
Yes.
for certain things to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First and foremost, people think truckers make a lot of money, but when you look at the sacrifices that we make to
Mm-hmm.
make the money, it's absurd. I mean, imagine being on the road for 3 weeks. You can't see your family. You can't see your kids. Three
Yep.
weeks. Some companies you spend 3 weeks out, you can't even make $2,000. If you're a driver and you would like to share your story, Uh,
Just let us know.
just comment under the video, and we'll figure out a way to get you, to get your story. We could probably invite you on a Zoom call,
Yep.
and you can share your story. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to educate people. We just want to bring awareness to some of the things that are happening in the trucking industry that a lot of people don't seem to care about, especially the government don't seem to care about. But by doing so, it would actually help
Bring
some
awareness.
people. Yeah, bring awareness, but also help some people along the way that are in the trucking industry looking for jobs. Because, like I said, it's a lot of scams going on out there. As
Mm-hmm.
a driver, you are not protected. All these companies are just there to take advantage of you, including DOT, including everybody that's in the trucking industry. They take advantage of the driver, but mind you, we the one that do the work. If we don't bring those loads from point A to point B, the America will cease to function if we stop trucking. 3 days of strike would actually bring a lot of awareness. They would actually, change, make a lot of difference if truckers would be willing to go on strike for at least 3 days. It would make a lot of difference, I believe so, because obviously the economy would take a big hit if truckers were to stop trucking for 3 days.
Exactly. And then always have multiple streams of income. Do your best. I know it's hard. So if you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, just make sure they have some passive income coming in just in case. So you can have them do digital products that your wife can do at home where she don't have to go to work. She can make her own digital books and sell on Amazon. So things like that. Even your kids can do that to
Yeah,
get
definitely,
extra
definitely.
income.
Digital product is the easiest way to make a side hustle, which actually could replace your full-time income. As you guys know, if you guys been on the internet, you hear a lot of talks about digital product. There's a book that's out. It's a good book that you can actually purchase, which will tell you step by step from A to Z how to create your own digital product, how to create your own book and put it for sale on Amazon. Whatever that you want to create when it comes to digital product, you can actually utilize this book and launch your own digital product on Amazon, putting it out there for sale. And I know you have what, 20, 21, or ridiculous amount of books already being sold on Amazon as we speak. So it does work.
Mm-hmm.
It does work because you have that book. It does work. I actually have a couple books on Amazon myself, utilizing the same book information in that book. I was able to launch a couple books on Amazon myself. So that is for anybody that's interested. Like for me, I do trucking for consistent income, but I'm not only counting on this job only, right?
That's
And also
yeah. No one should ever
one one
discount.
one last advice I have for anybody that's out there working a 9 to 5 job, especially truckers, being that there's a lot of scams out there. The moment you start dealing with these people, start documenting everything. If you're on a phone call with them, record the phone call. Send them emails, communicate via email, text message. That way you have a record of what's being said. So that way you can protect yourself, because they lie a lot. They lie so much. So now if they tell you ABC,
Mm-hmm.
they could turn around and say, hey, no, we never said that. Right? If you don't have proof to protect yourself, these companies could turn around and sue you for something that they did, but you having to pay them because you didn't keep a record of what was being discussed. And if I'm able to stand here confidently talking to you guys about what happened, it's because I document every single thing, every single conversation, every single attempt to communicate with these people. I document everything, and I have proof that they have never responded,
Mm-hmm.
attempt to communicate with them. So at this point, you can't come around and say, hey, I didn't do nothing, on top of the fact that I have everything documented to show that this truck has not been working since day one, and now you're charging me for lease and all that stuff, and then you expect me to pay you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get paid for my work. Like I said, $130. That's all I got paid. So I have enough information to sue their behind. Don't believe in what they're saying.
Yep. And stay away from Denver cargo leader freight system.
Yes.